Collecting offerings during worship service. Paganism. Worship leaders who dress in exclusively in distinct clothing that distinguish them from the non-religious leaders. Paganism.
Also, pagans used to breathe air.
Hey, what you doing over here? You watching some YouTube channels?
YouTube channels, video ideas, content creation. Hey, do you ever just want to be like, I don't know, a content creator? You ever want to throw some ideas out onto YouTube and be like, does that stick? Does that stick? Oh, maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to embarrass myself by doing a little bit of that. Well, but you just didn't know exactly what little ideas to have. You didn't know what content you wanted to create. Well, I'm not a drug dealer, but if you come a little closer but check out
Video
this
ideas.
bad boy. No, I'm a small little YouTube channel myself, and since the Dennis Prager video when 3 dudes unsubscribed, rest in freaking pieces, I'm really falling off, boys. I got so many ideas, I want to do so many different things, and I've barely got the platform, the resources, and the time to accomplish any of that. And unless my channel just happens to pop off, like and subscribe, I'm not going to be able to accomplish all those ideas. And so, that's where you come in. That's where you, the lads, the boys, that's your time to shine. Here are 10 of my video ideas that I think have the breadth and potential to be their very own YouTube channels. Stick with me. Number one's a doozy. At number 10, we have Intersectional Perspective on pop Christian/theological topics. Now, whilst that sounds big and puffy, it's probably the most basic of my little channel ideas. Effectively, it's just different people who come from different backgrounds sharing their own unique experiences on pop Christian and theological issues. I'm thinking if we were to go a little, let's go a little intersectional here for a moment. And I know intersectionality is the if you've been listening to those angry Calvinists plenty enough, you know that intersectionality is literally the worst thing under the sun. But, hey, how you doing? That this dude over here has his own background, and this dude over here, he's different, and so he has his own background. Each person comes with different experiences, and therefore different perspectives. And I think, just a little basic idea, those different perspectives could offer a very interesting YouTube channel.
The opposite. Are you saying that truth changes depending on oppression?
No. Now, what's not necessarily going to change is bog standard apologetics. But what does change is the way in which arguments are experienced. And what that experience offers to the table is what makes this channel proposal interesting. And so, that's that. Very simple premise, very simple idea. Don't crucify me, please. I think it's dope. I think it's good. I think it'll be some specific video ideas for you to just take for yourself. Include reacting to arguments made by popular creators and shedding light on how your experience might make their argument insufficient. Reacting to arguments made by popular creators and showing how your experience makes the argument actually better. Apologetics that would or would not matter to your group. At number 9, we have an eco-theological response to the climate crisis. Oh boy, doesn't that one sound all sorts of fun. Now, this channel could easily take inspiration from our other climate-related channels like Climate Town over here. Good channel, check it out. Now, I think this channel would be interesting because it would demonstrate what is supposed to be the marriage between orthodoxy and orthopraxy. An eco-theological channel necessarily has to involve some kind of orthopraxy. And so if you wanted to make a little channel on eco-theology, there's no shortage of areas of discussion. You could go eschatological, ecclesiological. Do you want to go all creational? Comparative theology, a theology of energy statistics. Whoa, what are they doing up there? That's interesting. It's not cool, but it's a reality. And so if this research above my head right now is accurate, then that's definitely something that you could react to. That's something. Specific video ideas that your eco-theological channel could, just take includes how eschatology impacts your eco-theology, how dispensationalist premillennialism creates a conspiratorial defeatist eschatology, and why that matters for climate change, an ethical theology of energy supply, reacting to the bad arguments made against climate change by other Christians, blah blah blah. Next topic, a critical Christian ethic of economics. Now, for this idea, I looked at the cover of a book. It's up there. And I thought, that could be a YouTube channel. And so maybe it will be. Now, if you were the host of this channel, obviously you're going to have some kind of education in economics to like a minimal degree at least. You know, it'd be nice if you were adept at it, which is why, I'm not going to host such a thing, but that could be you. Now, what I would find interesting is for a Christian to engage in economic conversation, but not from the very same, constant, conservative oil tycoon perspective, but reacting to these things from a theological perspective. Now, I know that some dudes like to say, but Jesus is a socialist, and, good for them. Obviously, those ideas, capitalism, socialism, didn't exist in the scriptures, and so what they're actually saying is that from this hermeneutical point of view, we can conclude that Jesus might most likely agree with socialism. Now, you, my boy, as the Christian economics ethicist, you can react to that, and rather than just reacting like the same conservative nutjobs constantly do, instead react with a more honest approach, a more, just do it better. I don't want another Dennis Prager. I just think it would be interesting. Maybe a little fun, even. Some video ideas for you to steal from me. Are profits for profit's sake ethical? Hypothesizing on an eschatologically driven economic system. That could be fun. Should all taxes be 10% or whatever? What about the housing crisis? Next number, the plurality of subcultures in conversation with Christianity. Now, this is not necessarily dissimilar to the first idea I gave you, only instead of, going about the intersectional route, this channel will be looking at what would normally be considered various subcultures that are typically looked down upon within the majority culture of Christianity, probably evangelicalism. And whether or not this, host is participating in whatever subculture, metalhead, furry, emo, goth, chav, hippies, whatever the subculture, that would be interesting. Engaging with and looking at the Christian experience from the perspective of someone who is, deeply involved in subcultures, niche and overlooks subcultures, that would be interesting. That would be enlightening, even. Because, you got all the dudes who say, metal is the devil. Ugh. I think it would be interesting to see people coming from those subcultures who also engage in faith, and then for them to explain and provide us with an insight into what their experience is like, engaging in these often overlooked subcultures. And a channel I think could provide some inspiration for this channel might be, let's say, a 10-minute Bible hour, because that's a Protestant dude who, engages with all sorts of denominations. Very cool. Some specific video ideas for you could be, I am X and a Christian. What do X's and Y's think about Christianity/religion? Ooh. A Christian X and an atheist Y? Debate? What? Halfway there. A critical response to misinformation about Christianity. Now, this is not necessarily unique, mind you. And in fact, Inspiring Philosophy up here already does that, but in a much shorter form, reacting to, TikToks, and the videos are oftentimes less than 5 minutes long. What I would like to see is effectively the same thing, but 10 to 15 minutes long. So dudes who are, educated like Inspiring Philosophy, who can provide educated answers to this misinformation, but longer form, so that we can actually, really feel inside ourselves the confidence. Because sometimes I think to myself, this response is good and all, but a little bit more, insight than, going on would have been helpful. Some specific video ideas for you could be, I don't know, watch Inspiring Philosophy and just copy him. There you go. At number 4, we have Christian Theological Urbanism. Now, if you're engaged in the same, circles on YouTube that I, watch, you might have noticed the sheer amount of, urbanist YouTube channels, how many of them exist. And if you're really paying attention, some of them are very new and have very few subscribers, like one video, but that video has like 2,000 views. And that applies to many channels along, that general topic. Not a lot of subscribers, only a couple of videos, but all those videos have a lot of numbers on them. And I think, generally speaking, that's because the whole topic of urbanism is really popping off on YouTube, and I've not seen anyone tackling urbanism from a theological Christian perspective, and that's where you come in. So your channel would engage in very similar topics to other, urbanist channels, city design, transportation, sustainability and crap like that. Not necessarily dissimilar to your eco-theologians and also your economic theologians. So I don't know, if you made some of these channels I'm suggesting, maybe get in touch with each other. You can make your arguments appealing to, like Edenic theology and Imago Dei and cultural theology, blah, blah, blah. Some specific video ideas for you to, take into your channel includes cars, labor, and Renault Niebuhr. That one's catchy. Edenizing the city, the necessity of garden cities. Something about the housing crisis. There's a housing crisis going on. Next, a Christianity news channel. Now, I like the idea of this one. I think it sounds funny. I think it sounds fun. Could be entertaining. And, it kind of... I get some inspiration from, like, PewDiePie's Poppy Gloria and, Phil Vischer's, The Holy Post. Something along those vibes. At least personally, that would have been my, inspiration. But problem with this channel would be, very easily could just be another, Culture Warriors channel, which, so the convenient thing about this channel would be that there's so many sources that you could appeal to. Fan-freaking-tastic, whether or not it's Christianity Today or what other news sources, as well as the non-Christian news sources like, I don't know, the New York Times or the Atlantic or whatever, I don't know. What is happening in the world? Tell us about it. There you go. Now, will you be all conspiratorial about what's happening in the world? Like,
Oh no, the Euphrates River's drying up. It's literally revelation.
or you're gonna be, an actual journalist for us? Because that would be important. So giving us some of the news, but through a Christian theological lens, I don't know, that sounds nice. That sounds like it could be fun. And yeah, Poppy Gloria. Remember that? Yeah, good times. Could be interesting, could be cool, could go really wrong. Some specific video ideas for you could be, whoa, I can't believe this current event is happening. Whoa, I can't believe this source reported on that thing. Isn't that wild? Next, a theological book review. This is what it says on the tin. Just just read books, dude. Read books. If you read books in your spare time, this is the channel you could make. So, whether or not it's from scholarly thinkers or popular level thinkers, those are the books that you get to read and review and tell us all about. Now, what could be interesting is that you don't just have to read all the books that are, important in a positive sense. You could also read some of the books that are important in a really negative sense, and then tell us about those as well. So, it's not just like, oh yeah, like Karl Barth's, commentary on Romans, but also the Left Behind series. I've never read Left Behind, and I've been told that it was really impactful for its day, but in a negative way. I would love it if you got to read that and then you get to tell us all about it. That would be great. And all those wild and wacky conspiratorial books that are like, wow, the Antichrist is literally Russia, or wow, Trump is this thing? Oh my. Those are for you. Those are the books you get to read. Some specific video ideas for you could be, read a book. Tell us about it. Wow, I read these crazy tracts, and this happened. Wow, I read the Left Behind series in the 90s, and it scarred me for life. What? Second to last, progressive and conservative Christians debate. Now, I think this one could be really fun and interesting and also important. Now, to simply exist, it would require an air of ecumenicalism. Otherwise, it's just gonna be dudes butting heads the entire time. So obviously, this channel would require 2 hosts instead of just the one. And they would be having all sorts of discussions about all sorts of little hot topic things. They would discuss the real thoughts and the real concerns, and they would discuss them with each other, trying to not just, make their point, but humanize themselves for each other. Now, I believe this channel could be really special because, how many conservative dudes have a progressive friend? And how many progressives have a conservative friend? I don't know the answer. But I assume the odds are low. And whilst I don't necessarily know why this would be the case, nonetheless, the separation between the two causes dehumanization and therefore straw manning. Whereas the coming together between the two can hopefully rehumanize the other for oneself and break down misconceptions that we have about each other. I think that this would be important for church growth, and I also think it is necessary if what we want is a better future. I would be excited to see this channel exist. Some specific video ideas for this channel include, wow, these progressive and conservative Christians had a debate. What happened next? Wow, does this Christian really care about the Bible? Whoa, does that Christian really care about their neighbor? See what happens next. And the very last channel idea for you. At number 1, we have... Ooh, who saw this one coming? Oh no, I'm not sure. I don't know who saw this one coming, but Christians against culture war. Oh boy, isn't that exciting. Now, this is a series idea I actually had about a year ago, and I was talking to Matt from M4J, and he was saying, whoa, that's a good idea. Thanks, Matt. But you know what? Maybe this is your idea now. Doesn't have to be mine. You can have it. This channel will be engaged in explicit culture war issues, not for the sake of performing and engaging and perpetuating culture war, because that's cringe and that's for nerds, but rather to demythologize the issues and hopefully shed an air of reasonability and maybe a little bit of humanity into the conversations. Now, I imagine that this would involve, interviewing a load of Christian content creators and getting to see what they think about the whole thing, getting to see what they think about culture war and, what are their thoughts, what are their real concerns. Also, do they think that culture war is just a load of Babylonian nonsense that only leads to death and destruction? Hopefully that is what they think. Some specific video ideas for your new channel could include, how many video ideas do I need to give you? Here's 10 channels, think of your own ideas. Wow, I can't believe that we just talked about 10 whole Christian YouTube channel ideas. That now, these are your ideas now. They're not just my ideas now, they are our ideas. They are for you to take and you to do with as you will. And maybe these ideas, maybe you don't want to participate in any of these channel ideas, but it sparks some creativity in yourself to maybe do a totally other channel idea, which, totally supportive of you. There are niches that exist and we can totally fill them. So what are some of your own Christian channel ideas? Leave it in the comment section below. And if you want some support from me, if you want me to, watch your videos, critique them, and engage with you, hit me up on Instagram. I reply to every single message, and I want to help support other small Christian YouTube channels. I mean, if we flood the platform, surely that could hopefully be of benefit to us. Right? Hopefully. Go you. You got this. You can do it. Congratulations. Proud of you.